Life is a disease. A millennium ago, a supreme necromancer was on the verge of conquering the world. But you know what they say about best laid plans. Inevitably, heroes shall emerge. So, I was made dead. Again. But what does death really mean for somebody who has mastered it, Boredom. An eternity to ponder my errors and how close I came to victory. I am a mortal, but when this world ends, even I will know oblivion. And so, I ask myself, will I be given another chance to rise before it happens? Another chance to fulfill my ambition? It seems that fate has smiled after all.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Sorry about the quite loud introduction, but I haven't gotten into the options menu yet to turn the sound down. But anyway, as you can see, we're going to be jumping into a game that has just come into early access called Iratus, Lord of the Dead. Let me just quickly turn these sounds down a bit so they're a more reasonable level. There we go. Okay, so Iratus Lord of the Dead is an action roguelike RPG where you basically create a squad and go out and try get through a randomly generated dungeon of sorts. So it's very, very similar to Darkest Dungeon, and also has some plays on it from Aspire. So it should be an interesting game. Quickly have a look at some of the options before we head in. I do want subtitles. Yeah, generate the initial squad at the start. It's fine, I guess. We'll just play with what they suggest. And then we can change stuff up for our second run through. Well, let's jump on in. So we're going to start a new game. As you can see, you do need to complete the first difficulties before you can do run-throughs of the harder difficulties. I think that's a very good idea. So, we will all start with the tutorial. So, Minion Abilities. I hope you guys don't mind learning the game as I do as well. So I think that's the best way to do it, so you guys understand what's going on as I'm understanding what's going on. I have played a little bit and I kind of understand what's going on, but I'd like you guys to understand as well. So each minion has 5 basic abilities and 1 ultimate ability. To use an ultimate ability, you need a special resource of Wraith. Okay, so obviously this bar here is going to be our Wraith building. Not sure how to build that yet, but hopefully they'll tell us. So minions and enemies can use certain abilities only from specific positions and with specific targets. So this is us. Our abilities will be able to be used in specific regions and on a specific enemy in a specific area, as you can see there. So this ability here can only be used in the first slot, when you're in the first slot of your team, and can only hit the first 2 slots of the enemy's team. So, standard skeleton stands ready and is good to serve. So, unassuming strike, as you can see, is a physical attack. It ignores armor and it can only hit in the first 2 enemy squads. So these 2 here. And you've got to be in the first 2 sections of your squad to use the ability. So they have a range of different abilities, can be used in different areas. These are the only two I can use at the moment, and this is the Wraith ultimate ability. As you can see there, hits everybody and deals 120% stress damage. So there's a number of types of damage: magic, physical, and stress. Stress damage is basically deals against their sanity, and when it's 0, the target has a chance of dying when receiving any amount of stress damage, and they will also go insane as their insanity goes down, and they'll either get there's different effects that can happen to them when they get to a low sanity. So you don't always want to go straight for vigor or straight for their health, because they might have really low sanity and you might be able to kill them that way. But anyway, bugger. Didn't mean to use that attack straight up, but anyway, I was meant to have a look at them. So as we can see here, talking about the physical and magical damage and also stress. Physical and magical damage reduce the target's vigor. And igniting a target will deal magical damage multiple times over the course of a few turns. Stress damage decreases the sanity of the target. Cursing a target will deal stress damage multiple times over the course of a few turns. Critical hits by your minions decrease enemy's sanity. Enemy critical hits will increase it. So I can do a scream, which is stress damage, and moves the target. Hits everybody. Or I can do soprano. Deals 30% stress damage, so 6 to 6. All enemies lose 1 attack for their next action. I think I will do the losing attack.
Embrace your new existence.
There we go. Okay, sanity. Loss of sanity in combat can lead to various consequences. Insanity, a negative effect that weakens the enemy. Inspiration, a positive effect that strengthens the enemy. Death, receiving any amount of stress damage while at 0 sanity can lead to instantaneous death. Or flee from combat. At low levels of sanity, an enemy on the outermost position of the combat row has a chance to flee from combat. So only this side can flee from combat. And at the moment, he's at 0% still. 8 to 10, 14 to 15. I don't think these guys have any armor. Nope, as you can see here. Oh no, that's block. No armor. So whenever a character with armor is dealt physical damage, that damage is reduced by the amount of armor. So he doesn't have any. So I think we use this. And we... Oh, 1 health. Okay. Let's make sure they don't attack us again. Or, well, their attack is low anyway. Because as you can see, 0 to 4. Let's just hit him once. That should get rid of him.
What 1,000 years of evolution
And he's now
looks
gone
like.
insane.
Perfect.
So, he got insanity, so it was the negative debuff, which is good for us. So you can see all remaining strength at the start of each turn loses 20% of its maximum vigor, receives an extra action. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a little bit annoying. Okay, he should now die because he had... No? Oh, what? I thought they die if they have... Oh boy, that wasn't good. Could have sworn at 0... okay. That's interesting. Anyway, once you finish, you get basically pieces of human to create more army for yourself. And you can see the damage we took and the experience we got. We didn't get any experience because this was a tutorial run. And we're now back to our home base with Icarus being right here. Or Iratus, sorry. Iratus being right here. I think I want to turn that sound up ever so slightly. Anyway, we're going to start creating our minions now. So as you can see, we get all this stuff from the humans we kill, and that enables us to create our minion army. So after gathering parts from his defeated foes, Iratus can add new minions to his army. Using parts of uncommon, rare, or legendary quality will increase the stats of the created minion. With time, Iratus can acquire new ways of creating minions, as well as various combat tactics. So, we have these things at our disposal. A skeleton, which we already have one of. A fairly unimpressive warrior whose one standout characteristic is their utter mediocrity. While they often make up the backbone, pun intended, of most undead armies, skeletons are so boring that they are never really acknowledged by their creators or enemies. So these are the abilities they have, and you can upgrade your abilities as well when you get skill points. And you can get them upgrades of some sort as well. Okay, so you can classify your items: common, uncommon, rare, legendary. I don't have any of anything but common. I don't have any brains, don't have any items either. Got some ectoplasm, flesh, weapons, skulls, rags, hearts, bones, blood, dust, and armor. Cool. And you can see what creates them down here. Okay, the second one is a zombie. So before Iratus came along, zombies were considered little more than fodder troop by the other necromancers. It took a true visionary to realize that a mindless mass of undead muscle can be used for more than simply bashing the heads of mortals. With a bit of technological assistance, these rotting hulks were turned into mobile artillery capable of carrying and shooting cannons that would normally need several humans to operate. So they've got volley, a magic attack, buckshot, a physical attack at 40% to the chosen target and 2 enemies behind it. Okay. Igniting mixture sets target on fire for 2 turns. It's interesting. More powder. The zombie gains 100% damage for its next attack. Ah. A stance up the back. So at the start of its next turn, the zombie attacks 4 times. Each attack dealing 50% damage to a random remaining enemy. This attack does not consume an action. Huh. Can you use these? Oh, you can't use those in any of those in those last 2 slots though. So basically all you'd be doing is bombardment and cannonball. And that, you can't use that. So you'd just be doing bombardment. So you'd be attacking 4 random people every turn. Huh, okay.
My undead tools can be made better.
Then look at the Bride of Icarus. This is the next mob we can start off with. So a design fashioned by the necromancer himself. The bride uses only her best part to raise a deadly archer with an unhealthy love for her creator. Said love is then channeled into a burning desire to shoot out the eyes of anything that might try to get close to the one she worships. So we've got chest piercer, physical attack, flames of love, so set targets on fire. deal ignition damage. Overwatch. So it's a stance. Whenever an enemy moves, deal this much physical damage. So stances are basically, yeah, positions you can get into that operate over a whole turn. Buff. The Bride gains +4 attack and +4 dread until the end of battle. Dread being how much damage this minion will deal with its stress attacks. It's got a stress attack from everywhere. Deal 100% stress attack. Okay. So all these can be done from the 3rd slot so far. Yeah, so I think the 3rd slot is the best spot for a Bride of Iratus. Rose for the Lady. Inflicts a critical hit across everybody by the looks of it. Okay, next on the list, the Dark Knight. So it's a manifestation of living void contained in a vessel of knightly armor. So it has 8 armor, 8 resistances. That's pretty good. These necromantic soldiers are often seen leading the armies of undead against the civilizations of the mortals. Where they learn the skill to do battle and wage war is unknown, but all of them despise existence and seek to reduce everything to nothing. So it's got Heartless Slash. Deals damage equal to 50% of the sum of the Dark Knight's armor and resistance. So if you could buff his armor and resistance, that would go up. Deals stress damage. Deals additional 2 damage for each buff or debuff on the target. Support. Remove all buffs and debuffs from the Dark Knight. And you move 1 back by the looks of it if you do that. A stance. Each time an enemy receives a buff, the Dark Knight deals stress damage to it.
Perfection takes time.
If you're in the back lines, you can do an unfeeling aggression. Deals 100% damage to the chosen target and the enemy standing behind it. And then you'll move forward 3. So you could move back for turns with that, and then come back forwards 3 with this. Abyssal Hunger. All enemies lose 12 vigor. Dark Knight recovers vigor in the amount of damage received by the enemies. Okay, that seems pretty good to put in the front line. We've got the Banshee, who we've got here as well already. So Banshee draws her strength. What's this? Oh, a feature. The chance of enemies to escape increases by 2% each turn. Oh, okay. So they escape quicker when you have a Banshee. A Banshee draws her strength from one simple emotion, fear. In truth, a Banshee feels many times the fear felt by her victims. Had she the ability, she would run away from each battle in blind terror, but necromancers had long since employed additional bindings to keep that from happening. Okay, so she seems to be all about stress attacks then. Yep, so moves the target to a random position and you move forward 1. Okay. Whenever an enemy moves, the Banshee deals 60 stress damage to it. So if you can get people to move around all the time, that's a good stress damage stance. Absorb Fear, you're going to move back. It's a support. Restores the target to full sanity. Gives Iratus mana equal to 30% of the restored sanity. Oh. Why would you want to restore someone back to full sanity? I guess to get mana back, maybe. Buff, all minions gain, or is it yours? Can you target yourself? I don't know, I'd have to see. All minions gain +6 dread for their next action. Oh, so if you were going to stress attack, that's a really good buff. Soprano, stress attack deals 30% damage. All enemies lose 4 attack. Yep. And then the Howl is her last ability. Her ultimate, I guess you'd say. A magic attack, so that's not stress. Everything else was stress, and this one is a magic attack.
You have the honor of receiving
Targets
my
skip their
personal
next
touch.
turn. And finally, we have a Wraith, sorry. Despite the seeming simplicity of this minion, its summoning has been prohibited by the Necromancer's Guild since the dawn of history. Not even Iratus remembers the reason for this decree, but there are many dark rumours surrounding this particular summoning. It is said that the very first Necromancer created this minion as a vessel for his rebirth. Or that the soul that answers the Necromancer's call comes not from the afterlife but from another, much more alien place. Nobody seemed to have had the courage to put these theories to the test, or maybe those that did never survived the process. Still, the guild has been nothing but ruins for millennia. It is now up to Iratus to decide what to do with this knowledge. So, it's got a magic attack. The target can't move during the next turn. A stress attack removes all buffs from the target, and target loses evasion for 1 turn. Ghostly Fire, a curse, deals damage to the chosen target and the enemy behind it. Curses the target for 2 turns, dealing 35% damage per turn. Curses. Oh, okay, so damage over time, stress. Cool. None of those move you around, but this one moves you forwards. And you want to be in the third... Ooh. Maybe the second... Oh, you got to pick one or the other. So it's either magic or stress, it seems. +6 dread until the end of battle. Ooh. Summons a concealing cloud for 2 rounds. Any minion within the cloud receives 25 evasion. I don't know what I'm going to do. Sorry about that. We're back into it. So, what would we want to pick for our first squad? So the skeleton, physical attacks.
Reinforce the bones, strengthen
gain
the
extra
flesh,
armor.
blacken the spirit. Yeah.
Links the skeleton with the target. Oh. Okay, so you're probably going to want to go in that slot. I'll leave in the... I was going to say back slot. But then you can't use... And that will move you forwards. I think we definitely want a Dark Knight to put at the front because of that armor that you have, and you've got a stress and physical attack, so you've got both if need be. Okay.
war needs
So we'll
its
create one of you,
generals.
put you there. Then what am I going to want in the third slot? Deal 100% damage. Stress attack. Probably you, actually. Because you do well in that third slot there.
Crafted it that way.
Okay, let's jump back into battle then. So, the kingdom had need of the vast riches buried underneath the castle. Great veins of iron that promised to fuel conquest after conquest, along with ancient artifacts from a long forgotten age. The dwarves were eager to offer their services in this project, bringing their untested mining equipment and experimental concoctions for the promise of wealth. They only needed bodies that could obey, and that the humans could provide. With dungeons filled to the brim with both criminals and rebels, there were no shortage of slaves to work these mines. Drugs were used to keep them docile as they dug ever deeper, year after year, unaware of the mortal danger that awaited them below. Okay, first battle, here we come. And as you can see, this is like the randomly generated part of it. That map that we're looking at. I'll talk more about it after this battle. So, unit features. Some enemies possess unique features that either strengthen or weaken them. Study the features of your minions. So this must be features. So that you can fight more effectively. So the chance to escape. You get extra luck against female enemies. Luck being your ability to critical hit. The skeleton is immune to all buffs and debuffs. Okay, so we're going first. What can we do? So, no armor, no armor, no armor. 35. So, this guy has a feature that when the taskmaster dies, his allies recover sanity. So we want to kill him last, I would assume. Whoops. What is that? I'm assuming that's 2... Oh, okay. He's got 2 blocks. So whenever a character... sorry. That has at least 1 point of block is hit by a physical attack, that attack is nullified and the character's block amount is decreased by 1. Also a ward. Whenever a character that has at least 1 point of ward is hit by a magical attack, that attack is nullified and the character's ward is decreased by 1. Okay, so you've got to hit him twice with either or before you can even hit him anyway. Think we will quickly buff yourself. Then ignores armor. We can't use that one in the tutorial. Okay. Okay, I was wondering why we couldn't use some of these. No armor, so let's just attack twice on... I think we'll attack twice on this guy. Because I want to kill him with stress, I think. Let's give everyone else +6 dread. Obviously you're immune, unfortunately. Ah, damn it. He got moved backwards. Okay, we've got extra dread. So, I think... let's do this stress attack on the miner. There aren't any buffs or debuffs, but we'll do a decent amount to start off. Oh, well there we go. That would have been helpful, wouldn't it? So he got betrayal, minus 75% chance to 75% chance to attack an ally. Okay. Once again, we'll just go for 2 attacks on him. Okay, yep, resistances, that's a resistance from him. Received physical damage is decreased by that amount. That's armor. Same for resistance. Blocks, just nullify them. Critical hits ignore both block and ward. Okay. How did that not kill him? Oh, a chance to die when receiving any amount of stress damage. Okay. I can kill him with you, so... it will deal extra stress damage, so let's do that to you, okay? Nope. That chance isn't very good, is it? Bloody hell. Let's just go and kill that one. I wonder how high a chance it is that they will die. It doesn't actually tell you. Okay. Well, if I attack twice, that'll get rid of his block at least. Oh, he attacked his own ally. Ha, nice.
As worthless as you were in life, you will be worth something in death.
Now, let's just get rid of this guy's health, I think. Yeah. Just hit him. Oh. And he doesn't have any armor, so we'll go for the double. Oh, I can't use any of those in the tutorial. Ooh, that's annoying. But this is pretty cool. Once he gets into this spot, because I use that ability, I can then move him all the way back to the front, which is really nice, because this does a fair bit of damage, and it's also to the enemies behind them. So I should think about that at the start, I think. Just kill him. There we go. Battle results. After winning a battle, Iratus receives rewards. An architect's soul needed to construct and improve buildings. Parts needed to craft minions. Artifacts can increase the power of your minions and Iratus himself. Brains used to quickly increase the level of minions. And additionally, minions that did not participate in the battle restore a small amount of vigor, or their health, basically, I'm assuming. So we've got a scroll of Skullfall, dust, weapons, armor. Nothing rare, just commons all over again. So, artifacts. There are 4 main types of artifacts: weapons, armor, rings, and amulets. You will also encounter consumables. Such artifacts only apply for one battle, after which they are spent. At the beginning of the game, Iratus receives 1 random artifact.
Fetching.
It's a one-time use. So as soon as you use it in one battle, it's going to disappear for every other battle. Good to know. So I could create... Oh, I did forget to show you guys the other minions that are all locked. So, as you can see, you don't start with all the different types of minions you can get. You need to do specific things in order to unlock them. So, mummies, you need to get a minion to level 5. Lich, you need to slay 70 enemies. Headhunter, defeat 3 bosses. Blood Phantasm, use 12,000 Wrath on ultimate abilities. Vampire, turn 5 enemies into vampires. How the hell do you do that? Shade, trigger Insanity in 100 enemies. Lost Soul, to buff enemies 333 times. Bone Golem, gather 120 bones. Fallen Dampfear, lure 5 Dampfears over to your side. So we must meet these characters at some stage as well. And a Ghoul, deal 5,000 damage to your own minions. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna play through with what we have here at the moment, and then we'll have a look over some combinations that I might like to try later on. So one of these sets you back. Warning shot. Oh, the stress attack. Okay. So if I put you there though, you could use that to start off. Go careering towards the front. And you would still be able to... Oh no, you wouldn't. Ooh. No, I think stay like that.